Medium rare. Don't be. He gets it disgusting. No, I get medium well. Sometimes well done.
You what?
With some A1 on.
That's black. That's charcoal.
No, it's really.
It's charcoal.
Have you ever had it?
Yes. But I burn it.
No,
But it catches on fire.
You're doing it wrong.
Doing it wrong. No.
He gets it like where it's just fresh off the cow.
Listen, you slice off the cow still has a soul. Heat up once or twice on either side. That's right. I don't.
It's
charcoal. I don't get it.
No, it's not charcoal. It's really fine quality. Like, take your palate tonight and then have it that way.
I know. Give me, all right. So how are you giving me a bite of your charcoal tonight? So you can
That's in Chicago. They're like, you sure?
Sorry, we were supposed to be talking about refrigeration stuff, and then he brought up we were going to talk about steak and how he likes eating, bricks of charcoal.
No.
We'll talk about it later. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Advanced Refrigeration Podcast. You're your host, Carlos. So, Kevin Thompson, we have Heath from Sporlan, live from Orlando at the Parker Sporlan booth. Booth number 1843. It took me like 4 times to remember that again. Today, we're going to talk about AI and refrigeration. So, I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. I know what I've been doing. You know, Kevin's making fun of me and just saying that I just make memes, but there's stuff I've been doing. But like, let's hear what you're doing.
Sure. So we think AI is a very useful tool for not just what we do, but also we deal with our interface contractors. We think contractors will be able to use AI in big ways in the future. Part of that, I believe, will be part of the design, and that includes the engineers that might design the system, having consistent decisions being made regardless of the engineer on record. They'll be able to design the system using AI and things that we learn, things that work well, feed that back in the AI system so we can make consistent good decisions on system design. Also, a big part of that we feel is product selection. So, and that goes from not just in the design portion, but also if you guys are in the field, you're looking for a certain part that might be on the system. What is going to work the best in this application?
What I tell you? Yeah. You're going to start recording, and so I haven't. Sorry.
So I think I'm going to hear it now very loudly. So I think AI is going to be a very big tool to be where it's going to be more at your fingertips, that you can choose the right parts. Maybe determine where they are in the United States so that you guys don't have to drive 20 minutes, instead of driving 10 minutes. But anyway, just trying to look at those items better for you guys. Programming, I think, is a big thing as we get more into CO2 systems. Obviously, electronic controls is a big part of that. I think AI in those systems will help with the programming. We're getting up where I believe that it will enhance and increase the speed at which those systems can come about. Whereas it might take, it might take me, I'm very slow, but it might take me 3 weeks to program maybe a full store. Using AI, especially when stores are similar in layout, and in the cases that they might have, the products that they might select, when I'm kind of copy and pasting, but in a smart way, right? We always talk about, that's a copy paste error. I think AI will help fix some of that. Where yes, it's a copy and paste, but AI will help. Oh, did you mean to put this case here? Right? It doesn't seem to be appearing on the drawing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think AI will help with that. Will help programming. Did you really want this ice cream at 35 degrees? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, that sounds great. But these are all things in the future. Obviously, what I'm talking about is things in the future where I think AI could possibly go. Could it change? Absolutely, but I think those are. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Commissioning, obviously, that's a very important part. At Sporlan, when we put in a remote control solution, we put in the SVC. Commissioning is it's a very big. Obviously, we want sensors to land on the right place. We want controllers to be plugged in correctly. Obviously, we all know that if controllers are not set up correctly, if they're not, the sensor's not landed on the right spot, if they're not connected to the right port, right, things can go wrong. So a lot of that today is done via human interaction with control, right? We're manually looking at things, verifying that everything is correct. I think AI in the future could play at least a portion of that. I see like a huge role for AI in the tuning side of stuff, like valve tuning, like where it would take me, time on my day to sit there and tune each valve, or AI could run an algorithm completely free, and they come up with the ID set. Then at least get you started. Even that, I mean, just getting you started, just doing the math for you.
Well, it's all about all the data that you feed it, that you actually feed it, right? So I've had some luck with creating my own GPTs, feeding it the manuals, and asking specific questions, and having it just focus on the manuals that the information I'm given. Because there is some stuff out there that's wrong, right? That's out there on the internet that someone's like, yeah, there's this, and so AI might pick that up. Where if you're essentially feeding it just the information that you're giving it coming from the manufacturer manuals, where it's less fallible information because you're actually feeding it where you want it to derive from. I mean, you're teaching it. Yeah, and I've essentially I've fed some stuff and I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And there's like a manual that's 500 pages. And guess what? It's going to roll through there and find that so quick. So I'm like, all right, went through page 1, went through page 2, even Control F, trying to go through a PDF. Yep. So if you load the document, like, hey, ask specific questions. Like, I know there's a way to do it. I know it's in here somewhere. But how do I set up the 0 to 10 signal? And it just essentially to feed you how to do it.
Yep, I agree. So improving performance, that was one of the items I had on my list. I agree, Kevin. It's a big thing. I would love to have almost a technician 24/7 that's looking at this store, that's continually trying to improve. All these end users, they have all their end goals on how tight they want their ice cream, how tight they want their meats, things like that controlled. And there's lots of jobs out there. You guys are constantly going from place to place, right? To try to fix problems and keep systems running. If we need that third guy almost, to kind of be looking at the system and not necessarily back cleanup, but just be there, just kind of watch the system, give you guys notifications when things go out. Hey, I've been trying to tune this thing, but it's not really working. You should probably think about heading back to this store here pretty soon because something appears to be wrong as a store.
So are you talking about actually integrating this with microthermal itself, or is this going to be maybe something like a secondary program that would do that, like a secondary watch?
I believe that this will be integrated into our full solution.
Oh wow, okay. So it wouldn't be because if you're getting information directly from there and you're having to communicate to a third party, you might lose some vital information that might end up making a bad decision. Right.
So continuing on that line, troubleshooting obviously is a big part of what you guys do when you're troubleshooting our systems. I always like the when we did the S3C, one of the big things that we tried to do with our tech app was give you an insight into the controller, why it was making the decisions that it was making.
Yeah.
So I would love to keep expanding on that, and that mentality or that thought process that we brought to the S3C. I would love that bring that to any controls that Parker makes, so that when you guys walk into a store that has Parker controls in it, that you can just I need this thing maybe to help me troubleshoot, or why is it choosing to open up the gas cooler valve? Why is it choosing to close down the flash gas bypass valve? What if I would override that? Why is it, what else is going on in the system to make this controller do what it's doing? And I don't want it to be magic. I want it as much as we're able to. I want to be able to point you guys in a direction where at least I need to go to and go to the record, right? At least that's where I can start solving my problems. But I at least want to provide some kind of direction that just say, here's my pressure, here's my temperature, good luck.
No, I've seen what it can do with feeding it the right information. I went as far as even feeding it piping diagrams and manuals, and just say, hey, I need you to reference these documents, any ASHRAE documents. Let's just say use the Husband Refrigeration piping diagram or document. I was like, hey, this is how the store is. What and give it. It's the more information you feed it, the better of accuracy AI has. And I know a lot of people don't realize that they think like, hey, they'll give it something very generalized. How do I diagnose this? But they're not giving it, what the design was and what it's actually doing. And with those two factors, you basically, and that's, so I guess where you're going, I guess, with microthermal, you can essentially say that, hey, this is what, it already knows what it's supposed to be at and what it's not at. And if it knows like this pipe size, this, you might be able to figure something out before the technician have to, right?
That's the whole goal. So we've been doing CO2 on the microthermal since 2008. Had a lot of history, a lot of information. Obviously, Sporlan is known definitely around the United States, around North America, as being one of the primary people to go to about refrigeration problems. So I'd like to take a lot of that knowledge and put that inside the controller to find and fix, hopefully fix the problem with. We want to talk about improved performance, fault detection, fault diagnostics. Part of the preventative maintenance is, I think, is always on people's minds. When you, it would be awesome to find a problem before it turns into a rack going down, or it turns into. But it's finding those problems is a big part. I think what AI will be able to help us do in the future.
Dennis, I need you to go back behind us and cut the cord on that circular saw back there, please. Sorry.
The last thing that I have really is simulation. And I don't know, but this is something that just tickles the back of my mind. With AI, I know AI is really big into providing simulation models, but it just where that's going to go, I don't know. But it would be great to put that in the hands of some brilliant technicians, just where they can simulate maybe a compressor going off. So, I don't know, I'm thinking about where I'm going into the store and I have to do something with this rack. I have to take these three compressors offline, whatever that might be. Well, this is a simulation of what's going to happen when you make that decision to take these compressors offline to change out maybe a part of the condenser or something. I don't know what
filter dryer, oil separator, something that's going to keep the system down long enough.
As you guys are in there and in the thick of it, right? What's going to happen? I don't know. Would it be great if I can kind of show you guys what can happen? Okay, well, this says I have 7 hours or something like that. In these conditions, in my current conditions, and the way my current load is being run, and how many people I have in my store with my HVAC where it's currently at, I don't know. I think it'll be really cool.
Throw me into a panic attack before it happens.
Well, with case controllers, I can see that actually being a thing because they know how much capacity that the case probably has, right? So then they'll know the percentage of the valve that's open, so that knowing what valves next. I know you guys select the valve, you guys select the valve in the microthermal, right?
Yes.
So you now know, okay, well, if this valve opens up under these conditions, essentially will be like whatever KW, whatever BTU, and then be able to actually tell you this. While you're talking, I'm thinking because I've seen on HFC refrigerant, sometimes they'll have rivering in the liquid line, right? And so it would be able to say, okay, well, all these cases are basically running at 0%. There's a minimal amount of load that's actually running at 80%, in the liquid level, and we're only feeding to maybe 10 or 15% of the full load of the rack. And because of that, we need to run an X velocity to keep that full cycle class. So in turn, it's like you're going to have a rivering cycle class because you're not running the full amount of volume the pipe's given in the liquid. Right? That kind of predictive stuff, right?
Yep.
And simulation. Okay. It's really interesting. I don't want to ask any questions that's going to get me in trouble. I was just kind of curious. So can you talk about AI? I wonder when things going to happen.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When are we going to see that
C3? Yeah, you got to say it right.
the SC3?
No.
S3C.
S3C.
Because what is the SC3? That's what my competitor. That's for outdoor temperature sensor. That's what they named it. It's the SC3. So it's S3C. Go ahead. 3C. Yeah. What's your question?
I'm dyslexic.
Go on.
So when are we going to see that iterated microthermal?
Yes.
Where I was getting to.
Soon. So yeah, it's it's a big part, obviously, of what we do at Parker. Microthermal, the S3C. Soon we have plans.
Cool. Well, I don't want to get you in any trouble, so we're going to stop from there. And I guess we'll get you next time. I guess we'll have you on in a little bit. We'll talk about the S3C.
Sounds good.
S3C.
Definitely.
And
There you go.
we'll talk about that.
All right, see you guys.